Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Nelson, and my podcast name
Did you hit
is
record?
yeah, it's recording.
Okay, great.
Is Average Home Theater Reviews,
And it's anything but average.
and oh well, thank you.
Mhm.
So I have a home theater at my house, and I named it Average Home Theater because I felt like the average person can build this thing, right? So he likes to compliment me and say it's above average, but
It is.
you know, maybe so, maybe not. But anyway, the
His
point
wife
is,
pays me.
I started this channel because I love movies and I like to watch movies in my home theater and then talk about it afterwards. So that's where the name, the little background comes from. And during this podcast or having this show, I came up with Who Did It Better? And it's basically a shootout between two movies with similar plots. Okay. Famously, Dante's Peak versus Volcano, that type of stuff, right? And Hollywood tends to copycat each other and they'll steal each other's ideas and whatnot. So Jamie came up, I think you're the one that came up with this one, huh?
I did.
Because I had never
It's my
heard of
fault.
this movie called Grabbers. So
Now, we do have to make sure we understand, because there is a 2012 movie called Grabbers and a 2013 movie called Gabbers. Just to make sure everyone understands.
okay, so we're talking about Grabbers. It's Tremors versus Grabbers. Okay, is what we're gonna do today. And have you seen either one of these movies? Yeah.
Oh,
Not even Tremors?
so why?
I know of Tremors.
So I have to ask, because I know you've seen at least Tremors. Yeah. Why are you here?
Because I love movies and I
There
love,
you go.
So the title was just, is that what brought you in? That is
Excellent.
awesome. And what's your name? Zachariah. All right. All right.
Well,
Sounds
thanks for
good.
being
Thank
here,
you for being here.
Zachariah.
Yeah, appreciate you. But that is really awesome that
I'm a regular. They don't appreciate me anymore.
you know that irritation that pops up every once in a while, and then it goes away. That's not him, though. I wasn't making that connection. Okay, it's your sir.
Okay, so since you've never seen it, I'll go ahead and give you the little synopsis here.
Spoiler alert.
Tremors was made in 1990. It's a horror comedy creature feature set in the isolated desert town of Perfection, Nevada. It follows Valentine McKee, who's played by Kevin Bacon, and Earl Bassett, who's played by Fred Ward. Do you know who Fred Ward is? Fred Ward's awesome. But anyway, he passed away a couple years ago.
Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. He's been in.
He's in tons of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, they are two handymen, right? They're kind of like the two guys who can fix anything. If you need them to fix your
Except their
sink
relationships.
or your sink, I mean not your sink, your fence and stuff like that. So they're just general handymen in this small town, and they kind of get fed up of the just going nowhere. So like, hell with it, we're gonna leave. We're getting out of this town. And so as they're trying to make their way out of town, they start to, the first thing they do is discover somebody appearing to be like, he climbed an electric pole, but it's one of the big transmission lines for electricity, right? And they're like, what the hell is he doing up there? So Kevin Bacon climbs up and they find the dude dead. And
Dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun. And whenever
I could act it out for you if you
Sure.
wanted while he's talking. Yeah.
whenever the coroner gets there, the coroner's like, basically he died of dehydration. And they're like, oh wow, well, how long does that take? He says 2 to 3 days. So they're like, why would he climb a tower and be up there for 2 or 3 days and just die, you know? And then they try to go and leave town and they find some construction workers. Well, the road is closed. So when they turn around and they go back to the bar and they start telling the people at the bar, well, we were trying to leave, but we found old boy, he's dead, blah, blah, blah. So they try to leave again, where those same construction workers have now disappeared. And then they find, don't they find a body? Or they find like a helmet with blood and stuff in it. Oozy and stuff, whatever. So long story short, this all boils down to there are these big sandworms that are killing the townsfolk.
Smaller dune sand or smaller Beetlejuice worms.
Right.
Okay.
And
And they can move through the sand and earth just like swimming through water.
Correct. And through all of the crazy stuff that happens, they discover that they're actually blind. They just go by sound. So
And vibration.
vibrate, yeah, but that's pretty
That's
much what
a-
sound is. It's like
Well, actually,
vibration,
sound
right?
is a vibration, but vibrations aren't all sounds.
You see, you
Why
can't
he
get,
still
you can't,
gets on the show with me, I don't
you
know.
can't get this kind of content just anywhere.
you,
You know?
you don't want this kind of content.
You can't get this anywhere, folks. I mean, this is exclusive. So, but anyway, so I really do enjoy this movie.
It is a fun movie, but don't forget, you don't forget two of the most colorful other supporting characters are played
Right.
by some survivalists.
Yeah, they're
And
preppers
There's preppers, and it's Reba McEntire and the dad
from Family Ties.
From Family Ties.
I can't think of his name.
Keegan.
Hold on,
I don't
I
know
got
his real name.
their
Yeah,
name.
Peter something Gross.
Michael Gross. Yeah, their names are Bert Gummer and Heather Gummer.
Yeah.
But and then there's also
There's
Yeah.
actually a fan theory out there that says that is actually the dad from
Family Ties.
and they had a horrible breakup because Michael J. Fox was such a bad kid that he caused him to leave his wife, and he moves out there and meets
meets
McEntire.
Reba. So, yeah, I mean, they have the little Asian guy that's from Victor. What's his name? Victor Wong. He's from Big Trouble in Little China. He's the little bus driver.
Yeah.
He's in it. He owns like a little grocery store or whatever. And
Then there's
he's
the
got a
hot
great
chick,
death,
smart.
by the way. When the
Yeah.
sandworm comes up from the floor and grabs him and is doing all this stuff,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, ah. Yeah, that's probably one of the best deaths in the whole thing. But I really enjoy Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward.
They have a great relationship, and they work off of each other well.
Fred Ward is like 15 years older than Kevin
Unlike
Bacon.
you and me.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have the whole little dynamic of old man and younger guy, and then of course the little what's her name? She's the seismologist. Rhonda Lebeck is her name.
Yeah, she's cute.
And she's got the little sunscreen on her nose.
And she's the smart one of the entire group who kind of figures out things, And then they end up calling them graboids.
Yes, the Asian guy comes up with the name graboids.
Yeah, and they wants to. That's graboids. We're gonna patent that and trademark it.
Yep.
Gotta
get it up.
You do.
Yeah, he buys the tongue portion that grabbed the truck and rip. So the worms, when they open their mouths, they have like small little worms that come out, and that's what attacks, right? And one of them grabbed the axle of their truck, and as they pulled away, it ripped it out, and they were like, "What the?" This was before they really knew what was going on, and Victor Wong bought it, $15?
Yeah, something like that.
He paid for it, and then he starts selling people $3 per picture
Yeah.
to take with the worm. So like, oh hell, he got us.
Imagine the size of that bottle of tequila.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
not sorry.
Kevin Bacon starts to take a little liking to the girl, the seismologist girl, and
he gets a good feeling off of her.
But whenever he's like, "Oh, it's supposed to be a girl," so when they're driving toward her, he's like, "She's gonna have big boobs. She's gonna be blonde. She's gonna have legs that don't quit." And when he gets there, she's just an average
brunette,
girl. She's short, brunette, yeah. But anyway,
she's Hollywood average.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can never get one.
She recently got arrested, that actress.
Oh, really? For being too hot?
No, she was stealing people's credit cards or something.
God.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. When I was looking it up, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Talk about a fall from grace.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
It is. It is,
So anyway, they end up defeating them by blowing up most of them.
Mm-hmm. They'll throw charges over here and force them into another way, and they force it out of the off a cliff.
Well, that's how they kill the last one.
Right.
So one of them's chasing them and runs into a concrete wall and kills itself. That's how they realize, okay, it's blind. And then two of them they blow up.
Wait, wasn't one of those worms? Didn't it have like a stick that was typing? Oh no, sorry, that was not it. You're right. That's when they learned.
And then the last one, basically, Kevin Bacon outsmarts it and makes it plummet off of the edge of a cliff and blow. And
I'm smarter than the worm.
So anyway,
that's it.
Right,
that's it. So that is a great great movie.
Yes.
So we go from
And recently I just watched it for the first time like a year ago. Tremors. Yeah.
For the first time?
For the first time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters.
I was
Wow.
10, so
Yeah.
I didn't see it in theaters when it came out.
So all right, we're gonna go from Grab-oids to Grab-ers, okay, which is a 2012 movie filmed in Ireland. Okay, in the isolated, and this is from Nick Reganis from IMDb. In the isolated fishing community of Arran Island, off the coast of Ireland, the almost always semi-drunk Garda, which is policeman over there, his name's Ciaran O'Shea. And his new big city partner, Lisa Nolan. And I don't understand this. This girl gets 2 weeks vacation and she goes and becomes a cop for somewhere else for 2 more
Yeah,
weeks.
I was very,
I was
I
like,
don't,
girl, get away from the job. They have their work cut out for them when an extraterrestrial strain of Lovecraftian, blood-sucking invaders who come into the off the coast, and then they come in town and they lay these cool little bowling ball kind of eggs, but they're also, just going after people and everything. And along the way, just by a chance discovery, come on in, we find out that the hideous creatures have an unexpected aversion to alcohol. And so therefore, as the next night approaches, and it's a big storm, and of course, if it rains, these creatures from the sea can move around, on the ground. So they're like, "Oh crap, what are we going to do?" So they get all the town together in the bar, and they basically, it's an open bar, throw a party. You guys get as drunk as you can, except
the drunk
guy. He's going to stay sober because it would take, I guess, so much to get him drunk. And so it's really a fun film. We just watched it Thursday night, and it's amazingly good with the special effects.
So you didn't describe the creatures. The creatures look more like octopus,
or octopi,
as opposed to big sandworms. So they live in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Or they live in outer. They came out of space.
They landed, but they're aquatic,
yes,
or whatever. But they can go on land. Mm-hmm. That's where they go to feed. Apparently, it's
as long as there's water for them to
nearby. Yeah. And so they're basically kind of like big vampires. So if you're drunk and you have the alcohol in your system, if they suck the blood, it makes them really sick or it kills them.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of course, colorful characters throughout the movie. Colorful drunk characters. And
Irish.
The Garda that comes in, Lisa Nolan, she is, of course, the very staunch, this is how we do it in the big cities. And, over here, how can you, stay drunk and all that. And of course, they end up finding a way to work together. And after they kill what they think is they find out, oh, no, that was the daddy. Where's the mom?
Where's the mama?
Where's the mama?
Oh, it was just the opposite. No, that was the female. They were looking for the male. The male, of course, is gigantic.
Gigantic. So it comes to a really great climax, kind of like this one, but in that there's it's part of a mining area, and they get the creature in there, and there's all of this, and of course the Garda Lisa comes in and basically kind of saves the day. But it has a good balance of humor and action and a little horror. There's a couple of scenes in there where you're seeing
the special effects are very
special
good.
effects are very
They
good.
had a $4 million budget, so it's like a real movie.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to be watching like a Tubi movie.
Yeah,
something really, really cheesy. But it's
that's what would come from me.
It's actually a real movie. Mm-hmm. But the stark differences between these two. So over there, obviously, I guess you can't have firearms in Ireland. I guess because there was no weapons. Not even the police had it.
Yeah.
So to where in Tremors you had the preppers and they have an arsenal and they're shooting elephant guns and everything at the Tremor worms. So there's a stark difference there where they're trying to fight these extraterrestrial creatures with no weapons, essentially. Come on in.
I texted you.
Come on in. We're talking about great cinema.
Are we? I thought we were still talking about grabbers.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Tremors and grabbers. Yes. It's not really great cinema. But so I I was very surprised at how good of a movie Grabbers was. I really thought it was going to be some trash, but it's a real movie.
Mhm.
And
Would you suggest it to people who like creature films?
yes, it is a very good creature feature. It's worth a watch. I'm not saying go buy the damn thing, or,
Mhm.
but if you can stream it somewhere, sure, it's definitely worth a watch.
And right now, I don't think we found that it was streaming anywhere for free, but I think on Amazon it was like
like
$3.99.
$3 or $4.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you could buy it for $5, I would almost tell you to buy it because it is fun, you know. But we're fixing to find out who did it better,
In my opinion, which is normally right,
except for
Tremors did
April
it
Fool's
better.
Days.
And not just because they did it first. I think the American humor works better than the Irish humor, because some of the stuff I think was supposed to be funny, I don't think it really resonates with us. Our cultures are just so different. Um, so I think, and just the characters, aside from the main characters and Grabbers, everybody else is just kind of,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
really care about them. But in Tremors,
Well, I would say I wouldn't care about them, but I would definitely say that they're not as involved in the situation
as
as
the
the
other
rest of
movie,
the group because they're so as to not panic everybody, they're keeping it all except for like 3 or 4 people who actually know what's going on. So I think that would be
yeah,
a little bit more fair to say
and the
because
whole being immune from alcohol thing is kind of silly to me.
well yes, but at
I
the
like my
same
movies
time,
more grounded and realistic, like
but wait,
worms in the sand.
this is an alien life form. Who's to tell that that alcohol? Because look at what it does to a human body, and so an alien
True,
body.
true.
Yeah, I'm making this up as we go.
And
by the
also,
way.
and also, Tremors, they don't say what they are.
Right,
They have speculation like, well, maybe they're um,
prehistoric, and they got
prehistoric,
awakened
or
or something.
maybe it's from radiation, or maybe they're alien, but they really don't know.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think they ever say. In Tremors 1, there's like 5 Tremors movies.
6.
6. See,
I believe you're right. Maybe on Robert Rodriguez show or something like that. Maybe sci-fi.
so do they ever say what they are?
To my knowledge.
So
No.
it's better that way.
Yeah, sometimes. Okay. So, by the way, in the future when we do this, I think we need to decide which movie is best at the end. Okay. So, first of all, there's a lot of things I think that you have a little list of we just say what parts, what did
Yep.
whatever. So, what's the first part
That's what.
of like the creatures? Which creatures were better?
Well, okay, so in this shootout, it's different because the movies are 22 years apart. Normally, when we do these, they're movies that come out the same year or a year. So the technology was vastly different.
Mhm.
So the special effects were much better in Grabbers because of the CGI was actually really, really good.
I think you were very surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say it's pretty awesome in Grabbers.
Okay. All right.
But the practical effects of Tremors, being an old school guy, I really like the way they look.
Appreciate
I
them.
appreciate.
I
appreciate
agree.
that.
As long as we're saying that the creature in Grabbers is, I think, is the winner. Okay. It can move to a lot of different places. It's got this again this Lovecraftian feel to it, where you got the central mass with the mouth and the tongue that comes out that
They
like
look a
stabs
lot
people.
like the aliens on Live, Die, Repeat or Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
You
you
seen
made that. Yeah,
They
you
look a
did that.
lot like those.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll give that
So
one
the
to
creature I'll give to Grabbers.
okay. Characters.
Oh, Tremors.
Tremors.
100%.
Okay. You kind of talk about that
Yeah.
because was there the fact that it was a language barrier, or just that you
No,
couldn't
no.
connect with them
I
because
just
more
didn't
they were
connect
island?
with them. I think it's a cultural thing. It was just, it's easier to connect to the good old boys of a small town than it is Irish. I mean,
Okay. Yeah. No,
I
I
can't
get it.
connect with
So
Irish like that.
so yeah.
There you go. What's
Yeah.
that? You prefer Tremors?
Yeah.
Just better written characters. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So what's like another factor that would come into making you think Tremors is better? Story
Story, but I like the kills better
in
in Tremors.
okay.
Grabbers, the effects look cool and stuff like that. But like I said, seeing Mr. Wong in
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you of like Jaws.
Right.
Whenever Quint is like,
Yeah.
It kind of reminds you of that, seeing a practical creature eat a person. I don't know. That's just kind of cool.
So this is going to surprise you, but I think the kills in Tremors are better, and not just the kills. Let's say the deaths, because the one guy who's up the pole that you know was there 2 to 3 days.
Oh, and don't forget about the car.
Oh, that's
the
true.
couple in the station wagon. It pulls them down. Yeah, that's awesome.
So I think that's a lot better, because the people in Grabbers, almost all of them see it coming.
Yeah.
They know that this is like a creature that's going to
and it's just a creature eating them.
Yeah, yeah. But in this one, like you said, first of all, you've got the guy who's so damn scared, even though he can't see anything, he's going to stay up there. Which, by the way, that guy has to be pretty damn smart to know that it was something, if he moved along, it would do it. I also do feel that it's scarier when you don't see it. Which you don't see this the monsters right away, but you do see them.
You see them a lot in Grabbers.
Yeah. So that will kind of take away, even as good as they are. And the kills that we do see, you really don't actually even see the kill. It's done. Where with Grabbers, again, Mr. Wong, that's classic. Tremors, thank you.
Yeah.
Again, Mr. Wong is just his.
And also the guy they pull through the tire.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You know, he thinks he's safe on that big tractor tire, and
gets him right at the waist, right? Yeah, yeah. So okay, so we'll give that as well.
The only thing I didn't really think was smart was when they decide in Tremors, they were in the big bulldozer, and they were pulling them in the trailer. It's like, well, you get in the bulldozer because you're like, okay, they can't move that; it's too heavy. But you got a flimsy trailer, you're pulling everybody else in. That didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's giant sandworms.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
all right.
I guess you can give them a little leeway.
What's another one?
Another what?
Another thing to compare them. Humor. Okay, you're already going to say it's going to be Tremors because you can associate
humor.
with them.
The humor was definitely better in Tremors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Tremors was stopped with the comedy in mind. It was more action comedy.
And they were the one. I mean,
yeah,
a lot older.
Seems more like they wanted to put a little bit of maybe drama or horror.
Yeah.
Well, and also in Grabbers though, they did a lot of homages. So the alien eggs look a lot like the eggs from Alien. What was the other one? We were like, oh, they.
Well, the face hugger.
Oh, there's a face.
One of them attacks them, and that's what he does. Is he wraps around the face.
Yeah, and there was something else. They say something. There's like a line, but anyway, they obviously wanted to pay homage to several different science fiction type horror movies.
And honestly, they did a few cliches. You know, they did one where it's kind of stupid, but it's kind of funny too, where they fill a super soaker up with like something, and then they go out in the rain.
Fluid.
Yeah, and they put a candle in the front. You know, wow, this is smart. And then they go outside in the rain, and nothing worked. It's like, okay, come on, who didn't,
because they were drunk.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was going to say.
He was like, light it up. So they lit the pilot, he goes outside, just the rain just immediately washes it out.
So, and then there's another point where the Grabbers have killed someone, and in an effort to get people to come out of their house, it's up on the roof, and it's using some of its little appendages to like move the guy like a marionette, and they're all like, oh,
what is he
it's
doing?
The drunk. Oh, great, let's go out, and So there is it does feel like they made some good attempts at humor, but I can definitely see where you especially even with the subtitles on, you kind of lose something in that.
Plus the setting, I enjoy the desert setting more than.
See, I'm just the opposite. If I had to do the setting, I would say, because here's the thing, and even though both of them are isolated, okay, because they're isolated by the things going around them, they are literally isolated on this little island. They can't go. There's, they can't get. They know if they go.
If you're out in the middle of the desert and you're hundreds of miles away, that's
well. That's what I'm saying. I agree. There's both of isolations, but I think we were actually talking about this at one point. In Grabbers, it's just a beautiful landscape. They've got this island, and just I would like to go there.
Yeah, it's a lot prettier than the Nevada desert.
Yeah, it is. And I think one of the other things has to be that the the characters
Mhm.
are much more fleshed out in Tremors. You know, you've got the Mr. Wong character. You've got the little guy who's
Oh, the little girl is
the little girl. Yeah,
It's that's Lexi from or Lex from Jurassic Park.
really.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. And the Jello girl,
Well, she was on
right? But
the
I mean,
pogo stick.
in Jurassic Park,
Oh
she's the
yeah,
Jello
Jello
girl.
the girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And again, so I think you get to see a lot more of them, and I also think that the fear factor is brought across a lot better in Tremors
Hmm.
because, and I don't want to offend any of these actors, but the acting level
Yeah.
was a lot more in Tremors.
I mean, Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
those are big guys, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But even the smaller, the
And I think
character
I'm
actors.
partial to I like westerns and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think the setting just works for me better
Yeah,
in Tremors.
that's fair.
Right.
That's right. Right. When you care for the characters,
Yeah, because I really
you want to
didn't
root for them.
I really didn't care too much in Grabbers. It was just fun watching people get killed. To where Tremors is like, no, not him.
Yeah, yeah. Not the little girl bouncing.
Right, not
yeah.
the girl on the pogo stick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true, and so I am not going to argue with this one. I am going to definitely agree with you to say that overall, Tremors did it better. Yes. How's that make you feel?
Feel good.
Yeah. All right.
Feels good.
So this is the first time that we've actually agreed. We've
Yes.
done this
Well,
3
we
times
had an
now.
agreement on.
Well, it was a split decision
Right.
when we did Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
So just to kind of let you know, we did the 2 Tales from the Crypt movie. We actually did a co-op where we watched our favorites from every season of Tales from the Crypt. And then to end it, we did a Who Did It Better, Bordello of Blood or Demon Knight. And I think we decided that Demon Knight made a better horror movie, but Bordello of Blood made a better Tales from the Crypt movie. So that one was a split decision, and we were both agreeable. But all of our feelings. Our first one was April Fool's Day
versus Slaughter High.
Yeah, and that was not a split decision. That almost
Have y'all
came
seen
to
those?
blows. Yeah, yeah. Don't watch Slaughter High. It is
Don't watch
horrible.
April Fool's Day. Slaughter High is better.
Yeah, watch both. Don't blame me when you watch both. But
and the reason why I wanted to do that one, like I told him, Slaughter High was actually supposed to be April Fool's Day, and the movie April Fool's Day came out in America first, so they had to change the name from April Fool's Day to Slaughter High, but they were both technically April Fool's Day.
yeah, just April Fool's Day was actually better in the first. So, all right. Well, I think it's your show.
Yeah, whatever y'all want to. Are there any similar plot movies that y'all have watched and you have any comments on, or
We could throw some
maybe
out.
something we can do in the future, like an episode that we could do? Any suggestions?
We've talked about doing, of course, Armageddon and Deep Impact, but I think that movie, those two would end up in a split decision as well, because you've got a straight up action movie versus a drama. So it would be hard to say
Right.
which one of those did better. I would probably say which one did better, Deep Impact or the 70s movie Meteor with Brian Keith and Sean Connery and Natalie Woods. But the span of time between those movies, it's just way too much. The original one. Have you ever seen this one? The Meteor? Yeah, yeah. It's a neat film because the Russians and the Americans, who both don't have nuclear warheads in space, actually end up having to turn their warheads that they didn't have around and shoot them off at the meteor. But how about y'all? Have you ever watched 2 movies and said, "Man, these are the exact same people"? Oh, okay. Well, right.
Nick and I did Leviathan versus Deep Star 6.
Yeah, yeah. They kind of came out at the same time too. Oh, a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's actually an Italian film called Contaminant or Alien Contaminant that was filmed right after Alien. And it has the eggs, it has all of that stuff, but it's on Earth at present day. And I want to say that Ridley Scott sued them because of it, because it was so much. But that does bring up a good point. I would rather see Alien versus a good haunted house movie. And people are going to say, why? It's not. If you think about it,
Oh, it's a
it is a
horror movie.
haunted
Yeah,
house movie in space.
absolutely.
You know? And for me, it's like they do it great. You don't see it until the very end. You see snippets of it, you know, and not to make this an alien conversation, but they did so many things right in that film. Even to the fact where Veronica Cartwright didn't know about the chest buster, and that's why her reactions were what they were.
I think most of them didn't know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep. 79.
Yeah.
Yep. I was -1.
Maybe your parents went to see it and oh, never mind.
Oh,
I
maybe
don't even
so.
want to go there. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Those movie memories. We did a very, very early episode on my show, Fave 5 for Fans. Did I plug that hard enough?
Go ahead.
And it's all about movie memories. And you know, that's one of the things that unites everybody in this room is we have seen great movies, but we've also had great experiences. That's why we keep going back.
Yeah, I think so. Aliens. I don't know if y'all remember. The first time I saw it as a kid, it played on TV. It was like it would be a special. Half would play Saturday night, and the second half would play Sunday night, and it was always on Fox, of course, because it's a 20th Century Fox movie, whatever. But for like years, it was like this special, and that's why I think I like it so much. Because and I was probably a late teenager, maybe even early adult before I saw the first Alien.
Really?
And now that's my favorite.
And you
one.
don't have to.
Oh, way before, years before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was born in '80, so when I was 6, 7 years old, I was 6, 7. I can't believe I just did that. 6 or 7 years old when the second one came out, because it came out in '86. So then it was on TV the following year and stuff. So yeah, the second one, but I prefer the first one. To me, Alien is like way better than Aliens, but I still love Aliens. But I love the first one.
Sure. The army in Britain. Yeah. And how did you feel after seeing it, being that it was so, and I think we could all agree that it was so vastly different from Alien. Did you like it? That is a very good assessment. They are. And then Alien 3. I mean, oh my God. Sorry.
I like Alien 3.
I do too. Yeah. Some people will say Jaws was a single movie. You know, I don't.
That's the only one I watch.
Yeah, I like 2 as well. You know. Yeah. 3 of us. And that's 4.
That's 4.
That's 4. Yeah. But I'll tell you, I've seen some interviews with Sir Michael, and he's like, yeah, you know, basically, I'm paraphrasing. You crap on that movie all you want. It bought me a house.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, okay, I'm down with it. That's a great. That's a great. Oh, thank you for making that distinction. Yeah. That's the same way that from Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah,
Jason's mom, Betsy Palmer. She wanted a new Cadillac, and she read the script and was like, "Oh, nobody's gonna see this piece of trash." Oh my God, you know.
I like Jaws 3 for 3D though.
Really?
No, yeah, it's stupid, but I mean, it's got Louis Gossett. It's got Dennis Quaid.
And yet
I mean,
none of that saves the movie.
Oh, it's still
I
fun.
watched it when we went to the beach.
And I think it's because it's not at the beach; it's at SeaWorld.
Yeah,
so it
SeaWorld.
just it's
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's just different enough to where it's fun.
I watched all 4 of them while I was on that trip, and I literally do not know how 4 got made.
Yeah,
It was like
it's called The Revenge, right?
yeah, but it's their revenge on us for you know, making us see it or something. Yes, that's a good impression. There are only 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it breaks through when it breaks through
and the glass just goes
and it explodes. But yet the glass is only that thick, you know, and it's like, what? No. You know? Exactly. And tougher probably.
And the yellow submarine looks so bad.
Yeah. And, no. See, that's a movie that could use a 4K restoration.
No, it did, and it's horrible.
Well, I know it's horrible, but what was the transfer like?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
They say the transfer was so bad, but they pulled a James Cameron where they used AI for the extras in the background, and like their faces are all distorted and stuff. Like it's terrible. Your face is like
your face is exactly like that. So maybe that's what they did.
Yeah,
Showed it
maybe
to a bunch of people. Okay, go ahead.
So Los Angeles was attacked by aliens within like a 2-year span.
True. Okay.
You had Battle of Los Angeles.
Right.
But then you had another one called
Skyline.
Battle
Los
Los Angeles.
Angeles. True.
And Skyline.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
3 of those in like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
And I remember now, Battle of Los Angeles was, I think, made for TV.
Okay.
But then you had Battle Los Angeles, which I gotta be honest, was a pretty good war story.
Yeah.
Because it was really just a war story, traditional war story set during an alien invasion.
Right.
And I remember watching it and I thought it was good. Yeah, I couldn't remember the other one. Battle of Los Angeles famously starred Kel Mitchell of Keenan and Kel.
Good Burger?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
So Battle of Los Angeles versus Skyline is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some aliens just decided to skip New York and go to Los Angeles.
No.
During that 1-year period.
You know, they probably saw the Hollywood sign and said, "I gotta go there," or they probably said to each other,
Yeah. One Battle colon Los Angeles. Battle of Los Angeles.
So I've got another one for you who did it better. Battleship or Super Mario Brothers? No?
Okay.
No? Okay. Well, anyway.
So have y'all seen Crawl, the alligator movie?
Oh, you guys should see that if you haven't.
Okay,
It's
Crawl
directed
is
by-
very...
Yes.
Yes, it's a hurricane.
And it's directed by Alexander Aja, who's done some amazing. He did P2, and he did one of my favorite films, High Tension. He's a French director, but he tears this.
Yeah, so a Category 5 hurricane hits Florida and brings in flood waters, and this guy, it's Barry Pepper, he is trapped in his crawl space under the house because an alligator's in there, won't let him out.
Who has eggs.
So
it's a mama who's super
it's a great creature feature.
Really good.
It's called Crawl, like you're crawling.
Yeah.
A crawl space.
And it definitely, I mean, if you listen to some other recommendations, you'll question it. But this is a good movie.
If I tell you, it's good. If he tells you,
unless it's Slaughter High.
Okay.
And then,
So there's a new Netflix movie that just came out on the 10th called Thrash, and it's a similar plot. A hurricane brings in floodwaters to this town, but it brings sharks with it.
And is it Louisiana town?
No, it's not Louisiana.
Florida.
It just says, it doesn't even say Florida. It just says a coastal town. So I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
So
Not
I don't know.
yet. That's the Roger Corman sequel.
I think you and I are going to watch Thrash and Crawl, and we're going to do that one.
I am down for that. All right.
That'll be very soon. I think that might be the next one. Because I'm very excited about
do you have the Blu-ray of Crawl?
I have it.
Okay.
And Thrash is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. I'm down.
So no, but I considered it because I love both of those movies.
That's good. Yeah.
That has definitely crossed my mind.
Okay. Huh?
Yeah. Matt Damon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Outbreak is the Dustin Hoffman and
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Excellent. Both of them are great.
Both of them are excellent. I got to tell you, please don't take this as poo-poo in your idea. They do feel like vastly different films because Contagion almost feels like a prophetic movie before COVID hit, because the way that those things are laid out and the way the government reacts and people react. Now that you watch it now, you're like, holy crap, this guy knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, and Contagion is worldwide, huh?
Yeah, and it's the girl the lady who has a candle that smells like her. Yeah,
Gwyneth
Paltrow. That's his wife or something, right? She starts to get sick.
Is she patient zero?
I don't know. I don't remember. But those are excellent. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, Outbreak is just a town.
Yes, a small town. Yeah, but still. Now,
Outbreak versus the Crazies.
No, Outbreak versus Andromeda Strain.
I've never seen Andromeda.
Okay.
I've read the book. It's great.
Yeah, it's Michael Crichton.
Mm-hmm.
And that one takes place in a small town as well. And you've got the government trying to do all that. Might be a good comparison. The only thing is that Outbreak, Andromeda's was like 70s or 70s, but it's an incredible. They redid it with Adrian Brower and that incredibly handsome Hispanic actor that looks like Jimmy Smits, because they replaced him with Jimmy Smits, or Jimmy Smits replaced him in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was a 2-part TV movie. Yeah, but that's a great idea though, and I would love to do like.
As a matter of fact, I have a DVD set, and it's those two movies on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a double pack or whatever.
Okay, then
they were together.
Forget what I said. Then we're gonna have to do the two that are in the double pack then.
Yep, yeah. I have it at the house.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Was it there like Shark Hurricane or something, or Sharknado? No.
47 meters or something.
No, that's a different one because that's underwater. So both of these that I think we're talking about were both set like they're scientific experiments, right? One.
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea, the sharks were scientific
experiments.
I
saw
that's
that.
Sam. That's Sam Jackson, right?
Yeah, that's Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Another one, it's white.
Yeah.
And they get stranded by sharks. So surrounded by sharks.
Wow. So 47 meters down is a great movie.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. There's been some really fun, because my friend Jennifer Taylor.
There's about 1,000 shark movies.
Yeah. There was one recently where Call Meany is in it. What's it called? Open Water. Okay. But there's been some fun ones, but Thrash, it sounds like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, the fact that one's alligators and one's sharks, but it's the same thing that brings them. So I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, great. Well, thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Thank you all for coming and participating.
Yeah. No. I did tell you the wrong room. I tried to text you. Oh, really? Wow, these guys are really into this intro. Let's see how it goes. But we do suggest that you go find Average Home Theater Reviews on YouTube.
Yep, I'm on YouTube, Spotify, all the things. Mm-hmm. If you come by our desk, did you bring? Oh, look, he's got cards.
We've got cards
right here. We have cards where you can scan the QR code, and it takes you to my links page.
Yep, that's it right there. And, there.
This is the kind of stuff we do. You know.
So you can't say that you didn't know. You watch it. And then I have, like I said, Fave 5 from Fans. And we're all under the Plastic Microphone Studios umbrella, which, by the way, I did give you co-creator credit today. No, co-creator credit today, because was it just last year at SciFiCon?
We came up with the idea last year. We were driving home.
Coming home from SciFiCon. So we've been about a year since the inception. Inception.
It's our birth year.
But again, well, thank you all of y'all for coming in. God, let's see this. 44 people.
Woo!
That is amazing. 45, 46 people.
Give us a round of applause.
Yeah. You can go back in and add all of that, people.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a
That'd be great. That'd be great.
applause.
All right. Well,
See y'all
thank
later.
y'all.